In Sage ERP Accpac, Bank Services receives every transaction that affects cash in the various submodules. Whether you're writing a check in AP, posting cash receipts in AR, or writing a paycheck in payroll, these transactions are reflected in the Bank Services module. Accordingly, all cash can be managed in Bank Services, from bank reconciliations to reversing a check or receipt. Bank Services also includes a transaction history inquiry that allows us to look up cash transactions and drill back to source documents, and this will be the focus of our tutorial. So let's jump right in and take a look. We're going to launch Sage ERP Accpac from the portal, but note that you can access all of the inquiry functions that we'll be demonstrating using the traditional Windows desktop interface. To see how the inquiry works, we'll run through some examples, and to access it, we'll go to Tasks, Bank Services, and under Transactions, Transaction History Inquiry. For our first example, suppose that our boss wants to know how many checks the company has written in 2019 that were for $500,000 and over. To quickly find the answer, we'll turn to the Transaction History Inquiry. Here we'll start by using the Finder to select the appropriate bank. As the cash manager, we know that all payables checks are written from City Commercial Bank. Next, we'll ensure that the source application is set to accounts payable. Now we'll set the criteria, and remember that we're only interested in 2019, so for payment date, we'll enter from 01/01/2019 to 12/31/2019. Next, we'll move to payment amount, and on the From side, we'll enter 500,000, and on the To side, we'll enter all nines. Now we'll hit the Go button. And here's the answer for our boss. We wrote 2 checks during 2019 that were $500,000 or over, both to Coil Precision Bearings, one in June for $500,000 and another in July for $1 million plus. We can also double-click to drill down into these transactions and see the payment details. Further, we can print the inquiry results using the button in the lower left corner. For our demo, we've set it to print to our screen. Let's now close this and take a look at another example. Suppose that we're asked to look up the checks that were written on a specific date. In our example, we'll use June 19, 2019. Again, we'll start by choosing the City Commercial Bank, which was already selected from our previous example. But to clear the previous criteria, we'll advance to the next bank, then back to City Commercial. The source application will be accounts payable, and for criteria, we'll enter the specific date of 06/19/2019, and when we tab over, notice that the same date is carried to the From field. Now we'll hit the Go button, and here we can see the checks that were written on the date in question. And now for our final example, one of our customers wants to know what checks they've written to us in June 2020. For this example, we'll use First Canadian Bank, which is our trade deposit bank. For source application, we'll select Accounts Receivable. Next, we'll filter on Date and Customer. This time, we'll use the Date Picker and select June 1st, 2020, and then June 30th, 2020. Moving to Customer, we'll open the Finder and scroll down to locate Can-Am Industries, customer number 7200, and now we'll hit the Go button. Looking at the results, we can report to our customer that they sent us 7 checks in June 2020. And if they ask some specific questions about a check, again, we can double-click to drill down to the receipt entry for additional information. And that completes our demonstration. So to recap, the Bank Services module is where all cash transactions flow in Sage ERP Accpac. And with the Transaction History Inquiry, you have cash transaction information at your fingertips with filters available to focus on the information you need. Give us a call if you need assistance with this or any other feature in your Sage ERP Accpac system. Well, that's it for this tutorial. Bye for now.